The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. Seems like we got a few podcasters out there, Crane and Company, and a few more out there that seem to think that Texas and Oklahoma are shuddering in their boots on the way to the SEC. Now, I'm an Alabama fan. I'm an SEC guy. But I think Oklahoma and Texas might have a little message for the SEC and those hateful eight that seem to gleefully and spastically love the idea of seeing Oklahoma and Texas struggle once they leave the Big 12. Let's talk about it. Woo! Well, here we go again, right on in. Once again, can you hear that bonanza music from back in the day? Nah, that was before my time too, but I used to watch it on TV Land and stuff. It's got always great catchy tune, you know. Well, that's you guys and gals right on in. It's the Outlaw Posse now in effect. I can also be found on Twitter at OCF Productions, and as I like to do every once in a while, I like to give a energy drink plug. Two energy drinks that are actually good for you. Celsius. I've said I haven't Celsius in here before, but this is my favorite flavor. Y'all need to check that out. It's the strawberry guava flavor. Pretty awesome. Also, as you can see right here up on my wall here, I got me a koozie from Koozies Corner. That's a great channel, by the way. Check it out. He's a West Virginia guy, but he does a lot of great, interesting interviews. Also, very good podcast on conference realignment and expansion, because it seems like everybody loves talking about that these days or listening to that. So check that out. Now, getting right to it here. I keep seeing these podcasts out there like Crane and Company talking about how Oklahoma and Texas are scared to go to the SEC, that their fans are shuddering at the thought, that the Oklahoma people, administration, everybody at Texas as well are scared. And I'm like, you know, I'm an SEC guy, I'm an Alabama guy, and I can go along with that narrative and play it up and troll them a little bit and aggravate them, because, you know, that's one of those things that I like to do from time to time. Well, more than just time to time. I like doing it a lot. But I got some bad news for the SEC and the Big 12. I don't think they're scared. I don't think they're scared. They may be cautiously optimistic, which could be construed as being a little scared. But it's just the unknown for them. It ain't that they're scared to play these teams. Oklahoma has a winning record against the SEC, and I think Texas does as well. As a matter of fact, Texas was 7-0-1 against Alabama, who is the SEC flagship school. Although a lot of people won't admit that, but they are. But they were 7-0-1 against Alabama up till 2009. Now, Alabama's won the last two, but the last one they barely won. It's not like Alabama blew Texas out. Matter of fact, Alabama probably should have lost that game. Oklahoma has a winning record against Alabama as well. Not by much, but they do. So why would they be scared? Cautiously optimistic? Yes. Scared? I don't think so. I think the big thing, a lot of this chatter is pushed by the Hateful Eight, which is the remaining 8 teams that were left behind that didn't get the golden ticket. They didn't get the Willy Wonka golden ticket, so they've been throwing a little hissy fit and wetting their diapers over there in the Big 12. It's the Big 12 teams that were left over that's pushing this narrative, I think. I don't really think it's the SEC people saying as much as them just trying to start trouble between the SEC schools and Texas and Oklahoma. See, their thing is they point out, well, we didn't really need Oklahoma and Texas. Look, we put 2 teams in major bowls last year, one in the national championship game and the other one in the Sugar Bowl against Alabama. Well, I'd like to sort of debate that a little bit. Here's the thing about that. Yes, y'all put 2 teams in there, but y'all done it in a year where Texas and Oklahoma were sort of both down. Both are going through transitions with new coaches. Texas, their transition's going a little smoother now that they're in their 3rd season, but it was their 2nd season under Steve Sarkisian coming off a losing record. Oklahoma was in their 1st season with Brent Venables coming in a circumstance that no other coach has ever had to deal with. I went into that ad nauseum. We all know about Tebow, Linky Boy, doing the shit that he done. And y'all finally, y'all basically got that by default, in my opinion. Your 2 best teams got blowed out by SEC schools. So that's why people try to say, well, I bet Oklahoma and Texas are scared. The 2 best teams in the Big 12 were beaten down 65-7. And Alabama destroyed Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. So that's why they think they're scared. But Oklahoma and Texas didn't have nothing to do with those games. You guys over there in the Hateful 8, the Big 12, y'all, when y'all have the opportunity and y'all get on that big stage like you did, we see what happens. Not only do y'all choke and not win the game, not only do you get your ass whooped, but you got housed and you got your skirt pulled down to the tone of a homecoming opponent, especially TCU. You mean to tell me that you couldn't put up more of a fight than 65-7? Hell, Georgia played Kent State that year. Kent State played Georgia a lot closer than TCU did. And then Kansas State, who is the Big 12 champion, got blew out by the supposed 2nd best team by ranking, Alabama. Now, while LSU did go to the SEC title game, Alabama and Georgia were ranked, they were the 2 highest ranked teams against the 2 highest ranked Big 12 teams. And y'all blew it. And that's why Oklahoma and Texas are taking their luggage, packing up and going to the SEC because they're tired of pulling y'all's weight. Every time y'all get a chance and an opportunity to get on the big stage, you get embarrassed. So, now I'm not talking about these little minor ass bowls that you get in, and every once in a while you might win one when, like when Ole Miss is half their team set out the bowl game and Baylor won that game a few years back. But they're not scared, I promise you. And as far as the SEC goes, this is what I see playing out for Texas and Oklahoma. Everybody keeps trying to say, well, you see what happened to Missouri and Texas A&M? They ain't shit. Y'all need to think about what you're saying before you say it sometimes. Because Missouri actually went over there and competed in the early part of their membership. Missouri not only competed, but Missouri played in the SEC title game, not once, but twice, 2 years in a row. So if Missouri can do that, I'm sure Texas and Oklahoma might be able to muster that up there as well. Will they come in and win the SEC right off the bat? Probably not. But could they make a run like Missouri? Definitely. If Missouri can do it, I'm sure Oklahoma and Texas could do it. What's going to happen is you're going to have Oklahoma and Texas come in, and they may be mid-level there at first, but I see them at least being the 3rd and 4th best teams in that conference, in the SEC, for years to come. And eventually, they're going to be the best teams in that conference from time to time. You're just going to have more of a swapping out. Everybody tries to say that the SEC is just Alabama. And now they're saying, well, it's just Alabama and Georgia. And that's not true. Once again, you're not doing your education on college football. All these Big Ten fans out there, Pac-12 and ACC, Big 12 teams saying that crap, you're really talking about yourself. Because Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, they've all won national championships. The SEC has had 6 different teams win national championships since the advent of the BCS in 1997. Can you name one other conference that's even close? The next closest conference is the ACC, who has two. You got Clemson and Florida State. Miami, when they won their national title, they weren't in the ACC. They were still in the Big East. So, the ones that need to be worried, and ones that need to be scared, are the teams that were trying to work their way back up to being in that top four conversation. Tennessee, Florida, and even as far down as Ole Miss and Mississippi State, who are making a little bit of a climb. Well, now you're going to get pushed right back down there where you've always belonged anyway, and that's the low man on the totem pole. Because Texas and Oklahoma are not going to come in here and be 5th and 6th place every year in each division. That might happen every once in a while. Hell, it happened to Alabama a few times in the past. But as far as consistency and staying in the top four in the conferences, which is what's going to really matter now going forward, Texas and Oklahoma are going to be in the top 4 or 5 of the SEC every other year, at least. So, Hateful 8, I know that y'all are pining and wanting to see them fail when they come to the SEC, but might get your feelings hurt a little bit. So you might need to brace yourselves for the fact that Texas and Oklahoma, while cautiously optimistic, as they like to say, they're not scared. And it's going to be a hell of a conference going forward. You guys and gals, tell me what you think about all this. Drop it in the comments section. Also, there's a join button now next to the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, hit the join button. Join the Outlaw Posse for $2.99 a month. That's only 75 cents a week. Also, there's a little heart down here. You want to get one-time donation, hit me up on that. Also, like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.